Welcome back, TCS TV viewers. Chris Nichols here from the camera store, and you're probably noticing this very interesting setup that we have here. We're gonna do a bit of a different video today. I wanna play with all the ways to carry camera gear, whether that be straps or backpacks, shoulder bags, belt systems, and all the rest. Because I think, like most photographers out there, I really just get honed in on what I like to do to carry a camera, and I realize it's very different from everybody else. And I think we take for granted all the accessories available. I'll be honest, I haven't used half of these things that we pulled out of the store today, and so I'm kind of excited to see if there is a better system. We're gonna keep it lighthearted, have some fun, pros and cons and whatnot, and of course you guys will all have your own preferences out there. Now, of course, it's not just about the bags, but it's also about what kind of gear we're gonna carry. And I know this is a tough subject because there's so much different stuff out there. You know, some people are carrying tiny mirrorless cameras, and that makes it really easy because, of course, you can downsize your bags. And other people out there have giant wildlife lenses and sports telephotos, and they're gonna need specialized equipment. I tried to keep it as good a compromise as possible. I've got a full frame SLR, 7200 2.8, 24 to 70 2.8, and a bulky portrait lens. Kind of a classic wedding photographer sort of working pro kind of kit. So I'm gonna play with that today, see how it carries with all of these accessories, and hopefully you guys get some out of this and you find it lighthearted and fun. We got to start at the beginning, and that is the classic camera strap. Now, if you've watched our show, you know that I absolutely hate these things. I just can't stand it. But you know, this is your classic strap. Not only does it advertise for the company that you bought the camera from, which is really generous, but it does also provide a secure way of carrying the camera. And you know, this is kind of the classic way of doing it. I hate this personally. It's just so painful on my neck. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, the camera's always there, but I always feel kind of like a tourist when I do it like this. And you know, I don't want to look like that. Aesthetics are so important to me, of course. So I always like to throw it over my shoulder like this. You know, just your classic kind of carry it off kind of thing. Son of a... Okay, so lesson learned. Obviously, don't carry your strap like that. So now I've got it in this configuration, and this is a very common way to carry it too, just around the head and neck. Nobody can, grab it, run off with it kind of thing. So it's a very secure setup that way. A little hard to... Okay, so we're done with the manufacturer's classic strap, but there's other alternatives, and this is actually made out of neoprene. Now, the idea with neoprene is that it's gonna give you a little bit of cushion, a little bit of spring, which helps with a heavier kind of camera. But honestly, most of them that I've used, it literally does bounce like a spring. The camera coming up and down at you every time you walk, and I hate that. This is the Optec Pro Loop Strap, though this is a little bit better. This has got this extra stitching here and this sort of strapping, this elastic, and this means it's not gonna bounce as much and it's still comfortable. That being said, though, it is quite large, as you can see there. I find that in the summertime, this is gonna get hot and sweaty. It's gonna be quite uncomfortable. So I still don't like them. And frankly, they're not very pretty looking, you know, and that is a factor when you're walking around with a camera around you. They've also got these quick release clips here, very handy, so that if some would-be thief, I'm just gonna make sure nobody's around, some would-be thief was gonna take this from you, they could clip it off without having to wreck a perfectly good strap with scissors. So, I mean, that's a plus. So luckily, with our inexhaustible budget at TCS TV, we're able to buy as many D750s and 24 to 70s as it takes to finish this video. So I've got my camera placed, and I've got a new strap system here. And this is the BlackRapid Strap system. Very popular, definitely a thicker strap here, a little harder to cut maybe. And you can get these in varying thicknesses and body shape styles and stuff like that, different looks and colors. It's a pretty cool idea. I mean, the magic with the BlackRapid system is that it's actually attached to the tripod thread in the bottom of the camera. I can grab it at my hip, which is where gravity's gonna put it, bring it up, click, 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 shoot, 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 and then just drop it again on my hip, and it's great. It does wander a little bit, it does shake a little bit, keep that in mind. If you baby your gear, this is gonna get marked up a bit, and obviously, it means that you can't use a tripod very easily without taking this off. But very secure, very comfortable, great for an event shooter or something like that. As long as you're okay with, dealing with a swinging camera moving around, it's a good system. Oh boy, as a TCS TV host, I have no shame or pride, so you guys can benefit from that here. This is the cotton carrier, and obviously I feel very uncomfortable in this. I probably look pretty stupid, but it's actually a very well-made kit with very, very interesting idea. I've got these metal plates that secure to the bottom of my tripod thread, and they'll slot in 90 degrees, gravity swings them down, and they're locked in place, they're not moving. And there's no bounce or anything like that. As well, I've got straps I can hook on here into the strap lug so I can bring the camera to my eye and drop it without worrying about it falling on the ground. There's even a weatherproof pouch hiding under here, look at that. Super smart. And I can get things for my hip, I can get things for my backpack strap, obviously this chest mount. So, you know, from a usability standpoint, I guess I could see this being very, very well made and very, very useful. Now, from an aesthetic standpoint, I just feel ridiculous. Everybody's walking by on the pathways, they're all staring at me. I feel like an idiot. The only pro that I can think of is if a would-be thief around here wanted to steal your gear, first off, it's very convoluted to get this out from there. Secondly, looking at a person like this, I obviously have no fear, I have no shame, I have nothing to lose, so I'm not someone to be messed with. So you will largely go unaccosted. In fact, nobody will talk to you. They will cross the street to avoid you while you do this. I promise you no person of amorous intent will ever feel that way when you're wearing this vest. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, very, very usable, very, very comfortable. I wouldn't wear one. So now we've got the Low Pro Street and Field Tactical Vest System with Low Pro Street and Field Deluxe Belt System. And now I kind of wish I had the cotton carrier back on because this just looks ridiculous. I mean, the beauty of this is it's modular. I can add the pouches that I want or need for the kind of shooting that I'm doing. I got a big lens pouch here for my 7200. There it is. Drop that in there. Filter pouches, whatever you want. And you know, to be honest, when you're wearing the belt system just by itself, and Think Tank make a very similar system, it always feels like your pants are gonna fall down. So adding on the vest, I can secure it on here, and then it does put the weight in the shoulders. I could see this being very comfortable for an event photographer, a journalist, a wedding photographer, something like that, where you just need access to your gear everywhere that you want it, quick and easy, without having to worry about strapping and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I don't know, how do I even say this? It's a cool system, I guess, if you're gonna do it creatively, professionally, but I wouldn't be caught dead in this. And I love firearms. I still don't like this. I feel so stupid. Get it off me. All right, so now I want to talk about backpacks. You know, backpacks are sort of a quintessential piece of photographic carry gear. And of course, the big benefit with a backpack is you can carry a lot of heavy gear for long distances and still in relative comfort. I'm actually going to start with the largest backpack here that we've got. This is the Low Pro 650AW Pro Trekker. Now, I mean, it's a big backpack, but certainly very, very comfortable. It's designed so you can carry a lot of big lenses, lots of camera gear, you know, hike with it. You got the belt clip here to put the weight on your hips. You have adjustable shoulder straps, all that kind of stuff. Actually feel not that heavy. I kind of thought it was heavier before. So quite comfortable, quite easy to carry. If you're going to carry a whole bunch of gear, this is really the only practical way to do it. But remember, if you're going traveling, if you're flying, there's no way this is going to fit on carry-on. All right, so we got a different kind of backpack here. This is the Manfrotto Red B210. I do like this bag. I like Manfrotto's bags, but this is indicative of any sort of backpack this size. I think everybody should have a backpack like this. First off, it's international airline carry-on. Anything sort of under 21 by 9 by 15 inches is fair game. And yet this will carry a long wildlife lens, a couple pro lenses, a couple bodies, maybe a flash or prime lens. So it can carry quite a bit of gear. It's a nice, comfortable setup. And of course, as you saw, somebody did steal all of my gear out of that large backpack. Now, one of the issues with a backpack that has a traditional opening is I have to get a friend to get my gear for me, or I have to take it off, put it on the ground, open it up and get to my stuff. And of course, it is easy access for anybody who wants in there. A backpack like this, Red Bee, for example, and bags like this actually have the access on the inside, so it's secure, nobody can get to it. And the other idea is if I want to get to my stuff without putting it on the ground, I should be able to, in theory, do this. So swing it around on the waist belt, there we go. Now as I open this, you're gonna say, oh, my gear's gonna fall out, but we've actually got this zippered section inside to keep it safe. There's all my stuff. I can get to my gear. I can open it up, move stuff around, zip it up, and be on my way. So I would look at a backpack like this. I think it's a versatile choice for anybody. If you do any hiking or walking around or trail seeking, this is a perfect choice. Lastly, we've got these tiny little backpacks. This is a Lopro Tahoe BP 150. I love this backpack. I don't care what anybody says. It comes in red and blue. It's like double dragon, 1-player, 2-player. Look how cute it is. I'm still getting the 7200, the camera, and you know, the 24-70, the prime lens in here. Nice and comfortable, easy to carry. And twice now at the store I've been described as being somewhat like a Japanese schoolgirl. So enough said, sold. Oh, now that brings us to, well, not a backpack, but kind of a hybrid. This is the Slingshot Edge 250 AW from Lopro. And you know, sling bags were all the rage. Just a few years ago, we were selling tons of these. Now, they're an interesting kind of concept. The idea being that if I put this on my back like this, and delicately keep it off my mic, the idea is that kind of like a shoulder strap across the body, the weight's not on my neck and it's not gonna be on the edge of one shoulder. At the same time, like a backpack, I've got extra carrying capacity, but if I wanna get to my stuff, I can simply pull it underneath, bam, there's my gear right there. Easy access, I don't have to take it off, I don't have to put it in the dirt. There you go, camera gear there. And I actually have, again, the 24-70, the 70-200, and the prime lens all in the bag here. You're not gonna get a ton of carrying capacity, and if you overload these things, they can get uncomfortable. Jordan, on the other end, hates these bags. I think they're pretty cool, but he finds, again, it's a lot of weight on one strap. You know, the access isn't that much easier in a classic backpack, and so you guys will find that the opinions on these things vary all over the place. There's two things in North America that have lingered and just don't seem to go away, and that is racism and the classic shoulder bag for photography. And I'm going to take a stand right now and say that I dislike heavily both of these things. In fact, this is the Domke, the Chronicle. It's actually labeled as a field press bag. Domke was one of the first manufacturers in 1976 to make the serious photographer's bag with their F2. And I mean, the big benefit of these things is easy access. You can get to your gear right away, but anybody who's been shooting weddings or journalism in this industry knows and is familiar with carrying one of these around for hours on end. On one shoulder, the pain just gets unbearable. And you're always doing this game where if you run or have to chase something, it's just flapping all over the place and, you know, always having to fight with it and push it behind you. They're a pain in the butt, they're heavy. Now we've got backpacks and sling bags and all these other things, but this was it for the longest time. I think they should disappear. They're just so uncomfortable, and there's a lot of better options out there. All right, so yes, I know that I'm crapping all over shoulder bags, and yet they are becoming very, very popular for one very important reason. Cameras are getting smaller, and so the bags can get smaller too. You don't have that painful weight, and yet you still get that easy access. But even more so than that, we've really seen now that camera bags have become fashion accessories. I mean, this is the Kelly Moore Luna. It's beautiful. Look at that color, the yellow with the gray. I think it's gorgeous. I've got my D750 in here, 24-70. My 85, sadly, no, the 7200 is not going to fit in here, but these come in all shapes and all sizes. And it doesn't just end here. I mean, you've got this, you've got the Ona bags that are out there on the market, you've got the hey, stop that, man, he stole my purse. Filson bags, you know, they're nice too. So I know there's so many choices out there. It's such a difficult process finding that right camera bag. And we get a lot of people in the store asking, Chris, what's the best system to use? And again, it's such a personal thing. And that's why we want to make this video for you, is hopefully it gives you a heads up, some idea of what you might like or not like. In the end, I've used a lot of these systems myself just for the certain situations where it's got benefits. I love shoulder bags because they're easy access. I like backpacks so you can carry a lot of gear over a long distance, maybe with a tripod. There's roller cases, there's all sorts of stuff. You know, cotton carriers, tactical vests, there's never an excuse for those. I can't see any reason to do that. But everything else, it has its time and it has its place. So I hope you found this very, very usable. Remember, check us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our channel. Let us know what kind of gear you like to use or not use. There's so many bags out there. This is just a selection of the stuff that we carry in the store. And what's my personal favorite? It's the most simple thing. No neck strap, no bag, nothing. One lens, one camera, and something like a Gordy wrist strap. I love these things, strong leather, super strong, and swing these things around, nothing's gonna break. I mean, I love it. It's just easy to use, easy access, always ready to shoot, and I don't have to worry about a whole bunch of bulk. You know, is a would-be thief gonna go around and take this from me? It's super strong and secure, it's hard to cut through, and frankly, the straps are so pretty, a thief wouldn't even wanna break it anyways. So what's the worst that could happen?